Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Mandir, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Shri Gurudev ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giridhar Mahārāja ki jai, Harinam Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
And Janardhan Prabhu, just so you know, I didn't say it yesterday, but Thakurji has your flute. What's happening?
Screw kaha? Hi. Where's my water? Okay. So, as life would have it, Gita Sangsar continues to plague, and repair people like to come in instead of in the morning, right at 5. So
There's a screw gone?
it's underneath the washing machine on the ground.
Underneath, on the ground.
He asked me where the screw is. No, it's kind of closer to his side, the other side. Okay. This is something I've experienced from reading a lot, especially studying shlokas, that sometimes the sixth sense becomes more enhanced. One time someone asked me, do you know where this document is? I'm like, yeah, it's on the top bookshelf on the right behind the books. And I'm like, how did I know that? And that came after I was, at the time, literally trying to memorize full lectures of Gurudev to give classes. But I can't do that anymore. So I study, and then whatever manifests in my heart, I share that, and remembrances of Gurudev. So, all right. We will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of this Shri Gaudiya Giti Guccha, beautiful bhajan treasure trove. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam. Today for us is also Ekadashi, and although there are different calendars, we have one calendar that says that tomorrow is Madhavendra Puripad's day, and another calendar, the one that Srila Gurudev would follow when he was here, which is prepared by Amal Krishna Prabhu, that says that Madhavendra Puripad's day is today. So we are going to remember Sri Madhavendra Puripad today and tomorrow, why not, and every single day. Sudevi used to be able to actually memorize a full lecture. One of the first classes I ever heard her give was quite impressive. I was thinking, how is this possible that she can do that? And I didn't realize it. She just asked, what do you think? I said, it sounded just like Gurudev. And she said, yeah, it was the entire Bhagavad Gita pamphlet. And I was quite amazed by that she could remember a whole class, like a whole booklet, almost verbatim in order. I've never had that capacity. So it was Krishna Chandra Prabhu in Switzerland who changed our approach, because he didn't want to hear our memorized anything. This was many years ago. He stopped us and he was like, so what does this mean to you? And it was like Nitai Pada Kamala or something. What does it mean? What do these two words mean to you? What do you want to do with, what is your goal? And so instead of speaking from here, he changed it that we speak from here. And actually that's what Gurudev wanted from all of his disciples. Srila Gurudev would even have the children stand up and tell shlokas. And he didn't want to hear any translation. He would actually say, what does it mean to you? From your own heart, what does it mean? So he didn't want us to just parrot repeat, but he also wanted us to bring it in, to process it, and then to share it. He would want us to make it ours. Working? And AC में 3 वायर है, अर्थ है, ठीक. AC बड़ा वाला, हाँ, 3, ठीक है. Yeah, okay. Wow. What takes me all day, he comes in and does in 5 minutes. Yesterday I realized this is beyond my qualification. So, many years ago, when Gurudev first told us, myself, Sudevi, Vishaka Didi, to make a team and start traveling the world and preaching, we felt completely unqualified. I mean, Sudevi and I were very new. Vishaka had been with him for quite some time. And so we were studying. We were reading Upadeshamrita and other books. This was after Kartik. He had told in front of all of the devotees at Govardhan. We're sitting there on the lawn, I think it was 1999. I want you three to make a team and travel and preach. And ho gaya? Wow, jaldi. Radhe, 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 radhe. I think I locked both top and bottom. Okay. Radhe Sham. So, Gurudev had ordered us to travel and preach. And so we thought, we're still in India for another couple weeks after Kartik. Let's study and prepare and then travel and preach. And of course, since we were still here and Gurudev was still here, we all went to Mathura to see him in Sri Keshivji Gaudiya Math. And just in case, we also had our books with us. And when Gurudev saw us, he didn't seem too pleased. He's like, what are you still doing here? I told you to travel and preach. And we're like, we're studying. We're studying so that we... He said, what you know now, go and preach. And it took some time, but through meditating on this concept, what you know now, go and preach, it wasn't about just memorizing something and then sharing it, but he wanted us to process, to try to understand, to pray, to chant, to make the conceptions part of ourselves, and then what inspiration manifests in the heart, to share that. He actually used the words when he told us to preach in Los Angeles. He said, I want you to breathe life into Los Angeles. And I looked up the word inspire. I was praying, I was crying, I was scared. What a big task Gurudev has given us. And I looked up the word inspire, and it said to breathe life. And so for us, it was a big a lesson, that it's not just about memorizing and sharing, but he wanted us to become part of that, or that thing to become part of us, that it wouldn't be something that's outside. It's easy maybe to do that, but you know, when someone is giving a speech and you see them kind of going, and then, you know, there's a memorized thing, and you know they're not really connected to their subject matter. So Srila Gurudev wanted us definitely to be connected, so much so that I gave that example of Gurudev telling the children, the young boys and girls in New Braj, he wanted to hear them tell the verses. And Brajendranandam Prabhu, he was the teacher at the time. So one boy after another, one girl after another were standing up and telling their shlokas to Srila Gurudev, along with their translations. And at that time, Sudevi's brother, her younger brother, Gopal, he's about 16 years younger. So we had studied the verse, Daivihye Gunamayi Mamamaya Duratyaya, and we practiced it. We practiced the translation from Srila Gurudev's Bhagavad Gita, which was, you know, it was just worded slightly differently than the translation in Srila Prabhupada's, although the meaning is the same and the shlok was the same. So as he was telling the verse, he did well. He was about 11 at the time. And then he started the translation, Gurudev's translation. And I just tested him like 100 times. So he had it down. And so he was telling Gurudev's translation, but his teacher, Brajendranandam Prabhu, is a Diksha disciple of Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedānta Swami Prabhupada and taking Shiksha from Gurudev. So he knew the translation from Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, as it is. And he was like, wait, no. And he said, you're not telling the right way. And he started changing. No, this is how it goes. And then Gopal said, no, it's like this. And so they had two different versions of the translation. And then Gopal just froze. He just lost it. Everything just out of his mind. He didn't even know. He was just standing there, choked. And Gurudev was like, continue. And he was like, ah. And Gurudev said, in your own words, you can tell. And he was like, ah. He just lost his whole memorization and everything. And he didn't know what to do. And everyone's like, you can do it, you can do it. And he was just standing there. And then he started crying a little bit. And Mahārāja, that time Naveen Krishna Brahmachari, he was like, it's okay, you can sit down. And Gurudev's like, no, tell it in your own words. And so we've seen, how much Gurudev wanted us to become part of the subject matter, or the subject matter to become part of us, and not just to have it as some distant memorized thing. Although sometimes we're told that if we just repeat like parrots, that's our only function. But repeating like parrots in the way of no connectedness to the subject matter versus connectedness to the subject matter, there's a very, very big, big difference. Also, so many can repeat like parrots, but if there's no desire to please Sri Guru, if there's no desire to serve Krishna, if there's no even endeavor or attempt or desire for devotion, then what is the use? It's empty. And so, trying to follow the order of Gurudev would always say to try is bhakti. And so, anyway, I was just remembering that at this time. Now we are free to continue with Mangalacharan, the auspicious invocation calling on the mercy, the grace. So Devi, can you please provide some water? The sidelong glance, the presence of our Srila Gurudev, our Srila Prabhupada, all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Sachinandan Gaura Hari. And today, the anniversary of the disappearance day of Sri Madhavendra Puripad, also calling out specifically to him, and also for the mercy of Sri Ekadashi Devi, and going all the way back to the original Guru, who is Krishna himself, and his Guru of Prem, Rishabhanunandini Srimati Radhika. Radhikar Prema Guru, Ame Shishya Nata. She is my Guru of Prem, and I am simply her dancing pupil. She makes me dance various novel dances. So we will start with Mangalacharan. Anjali's got good questions. Can you reconcile the difference between parrot speak and the parrot Shukadeva Goswami? So he's no ordinary parrot. He is the parrot of, well, one of the parrots, but prominent parrot of Srimati Radhika. And a parrot in the transcendental world is nothing like a parrot here. A parrot here has a parrot brain, and they repeat what they hear and maybe don't understand a word of it. Whereas that parrot is fully conscious. Sat Chit Ananda, all knowledge is present within him. Although he's in the body of a parrot, he understands his nature of love and affection and his relationship with Krishna and with Srimati Radhika and his seva to them. And so although that is his form there, it has nothing to do with the mundane parrots of this world. He's taken the form of Shukadeva Goswami just to show you that he's also all-knowing. As the parrot, or in the form of Shukadeva Goswami, as much as he knows as Shukadeva Goswami, he knows as the parrot. And Shukadeva Goswami held a lot back. Srila Gurudev said, why is the name of Srimati Radhika not directly present? In fact, it wasn't just Gurudev. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and other Gauri Vaishnavacharyas have mentioned this. Why is the name of Srimati Radhika not directly mentioned in Śrīmad Bhagavatam? You can find it indirectly in a place like Anaya Radhito Nunnam. There, Anaya Radhito, Aradhana or Aradhito. But it's not directly stated. Because if he would have said her name, he would have gone into ecstatic trance for 6 months and not been able to continue. It just so happened that Parikshit Mahārāja had only 7 days to live, so he had to control his tongue, and this is real intense Vacho Vegam, controlling the urge to need to speak the glories of Srimati Radhika, and he spoke as he spoke. But because that bhav was so deeply permeated within his being. That consciousness was present inside. Every word of Śrīmad Bhagavatam is infused with Śrīmati Radhika. Srila Gurudev has explained that every syllable of Bhagavatam is infused with her moods. Why? Because Bhagavatam is a devotional scripture, and she is the personification of and the source of devotion to Krishna, and the medium by which devotion connects to Krishna. So Bhagavatam, Śrīmad Bhagavatam, is a bhakti grantha, devotional scripture. Therefore, all of it, whether we realize it or not, has her permeated within every bit of it. Srila Gurudev said, maybe you cannot see it, but those who have the eyes to see, they can see her name everywhere. Today is Raghava's birthday? Maybe he needs to practice mridanga some more. He would get my joke. I hope he feels better soon and that he gets out of the hospital quickly. And please make sure to tell him that we send our happiest birthday wishes to Raghava Pandit. And yeah, he's experiencing ecstatic emotions and having irregular beats. So his mridanga playing is not as solid as... We're still going to do the birthday offerings. Look at, so many flowers are here. So definitely.